roast beef dinner on a pizza. Let's do it.
The first thing we need to do is get the slow cooker ready for the pot roast. So I'm making a bed of celery here to cook the pot roast on top of. It'll, of course, hold it up above the moisture a bit. I then need to sear the meat on each side for about 3 minutes. I make sure to use a timer to make sure I don't overcook it. Then I sear the sides to seal in the meat for about 1 minute on each side. After both roasts are seared, I will deglaze the pan to get all of the oils and flavors out of the pan with the red wine and pour that into the slow cooker. For our liquid, which will become the gravy, we're going to actually use chopped onion, dehydrated, 1 cup of red wine, that's just a table red wine right there, 2 cans of cream of mushroom soup, and then only a tablespoon of kosher salt because the cream of mushroom soup has a decent amount of sodium in it already. So that should be good for us. Then a 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar. And finally, garlic and white onion. Now we are going to take all of these ingredients and mix them together in a bowl and get them ready to pour on top of the celery, because that is the rack on which our pot roast cooks. I was going to actually here add the onions, but I decided to just crumble them up and put them on top of the carrots. I don't think I really need to mix those in. And now I'm going to do some rapid mixing. Wow, look at that speed. I wish I was that fast. Unfortunately, I move at human speeds. Oh, man. All right, put that on top. Put that purple goodness. What color is that? Oh, I guess it's brown, but anyways, when it cooks, it looks fantastic. Well, if this was our rock concert, these would be our rock stars. The 2 pot roast cuts getting into the pot, ready to perform on center stage. On the top of the pot roast, we're going to put these large carrots. As you can see, they're pretty big. They're almost 3 fingers wide, and definitely more than 2 fingers wide. And the reason I bought them so large is because I want to really cut them about the thickness of my thumb, or about, well, yeah, see right there, about 1 inch. And that way, they will not overcook as they're cooking on top of the pot roast. And as you see here, these will cook on top of the pot roast, and they will just soak up that phenomenal flavor. But because they're large, they actually won't overcook. Here I'm showing you that I'm cooking this for 8 hours on low, but I must admit right now I added 1 extra hour, so I cooked it for 9 hours on low. In the morning, the entire house smelled like pot roast, and it's time to take the carrots out. But what I want to show you is I'm pinching this, I'm squeezing these, they're not falling apart. This is an important thing to show you. This is how you cut carrots so they don't fall apart in a pot roast. Next, we're going to cook the potatoes, or at least I'm going to cook the potatoes, and I'm going to spray the pan with canola oil. Then, of course, I'm going to split the potatoes in half. The potatoes will cook in gravy. The potatoes will be covered with aluminum foil, cooked for 40 minutes at 350 degrees. What you see me doing here is whisking the butter with flour. I'm adding more oil into it right now, and I'm making it more into a light gravy. But now I'm going to actually add more flour because I want to get it thicker. Actually, the thickness of mashed potatoes, because that'll then break apart into the gravy when I add it in. and it'll thicken the gravy even more. So you'll see. Watch when I bring it together. It's like mashed potatoes now. So right now I'm stirring up the gravy. It's not quite boiling, or maybe I really don't want to cook the bejesus out of it. But you see now I'm going to add the roux, and it's about the consistency of mashed potatoes there. And what it's going to do is really thicken up the gravy, and that's the point here, is to actually get that to thicken up. I know I've used roux already, but I'm also going to use 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, and that's going to also thicken it, and they both work as thickeners in different ways. And now I whisked this for about 2 minutes. That's what I believe I did. About 2 minutes. And I kept whisking it to make sure that I did not have any thickening and that was heavier in one spot and thinner in another, and also to break up any lumps inside of it. Quite honestly though, I'm not too concerned about lumps. As long as it's relatively smooth, it's going to be on a pizza crust. If you look at the consistency, it looks a little gloppy, which is okay, because this is going to be spread on the crust, and that's fine. You'll see. Next, I want to cool down the gravy. I do not want to put hot gravy onto a pizza dough. So what I'm going to do is add some water to this ice in a bowl and make an ice bath out of it so that it actually cools down the gravy. And what I'll need to do next is just put the pan of gravy in with a lid and let it sit in that ice bath. In 20 minutes, it'll definitely be cold, and I went and probably used it about 40 to 45 minutes later, and it was good. After the gravy is cooled, it's about the consistency of pudding, and that's what we want. That's the consistency that spreads well on this pizza.
What time is it?
It's ZaZone Trivia time! PMQ Magazine reports that one American pizza chain would open almost 1,000 new locations in 2019. Which pizza chain was this? Domino's, Papa John's, Pizza Hut, or Sbarro? Pizza Hut, according to PMQ China. At the bottom of that list, Dodo or Doo-Doo Pizza, whatever way you pronounce that, it just doesn't sound appetizing. I really don't know why they're opening 20 more. And this ends our ZaZone Pizza Trivia Minute. Now that the dough is risen, I'm going to drop it onto the countertop, and you can see it fall right there. And now I'm going to scrape it out from the sides, and since the pan is already oiled with spray canola oil, it came out very clean. See that? And now I'm just going to put some extra flour on top of it, which of course we need to press it down and form it and shape it. Oops, I don't have my gloves on. Gotta get them on again. Oh, that was fast. Woo! Alright, let's get working with the dough. I need to make 3 sheets of pizza, and I also need to cut a portion out for my daughter's pizza. She wants like a 10-inch circular pizza, and that'll be for the 10-inch right there. And then the remainder, what remains there in the larger circle, of course, will be split 3 ways into our quarter sheets of pizza, and that's what we'll do. 1, 2, 3. We're counting. 3 cuts, that's all it took. At this point, I'm going to be oiling up the pans. I've got 3 sheets right here, and getting them ready. That's olive oil that I'm doing this with. I'm rubbing the bottom and putting it on the sides as well, making sure the sides are rubbed in, because I put ingredients up to the sides. I never skimp. I'm not a crust person. Crust is a delivery vehicle. It's not a handle for you to hold, in my opinion. As you can see now, I'm putting flour on here. The reason I'm using flour instead of oil is because I've got a lot of ingredients going on this pizza. We're going both high and wide. We're going significantly high with robust ingredients which have water, and also we're going to the very edges. So when I use flour as an extender, or as an agent to extend or press the dough, that actually dries it out a little more, and that gets it to the point where it is ready to have a significant load put on it. And when we par cook it, it'll be ready and dry, and stable for a significant load. The dough has been par cooked for 5 minutes, and now I'm going to place it on parchment paper. I wonder how many of you are laughing at the fact that I'm putting gravy on a pizza. It is pretty darn hilarious when I watch it myself. But if you taste it, you know, oh yeah, it's the reason. There's a method behind the madness. And now the star of the show. Meat! I hope you can see my concern for spreading the meat evenly. I hope it shows. My next favorite ingredient to put on this pizza, is it really a pizza? It sure is. But it's actually the carrots, and because they're cooked perfectly, and they're not mush, and they have a lot of flavor of the pot roast itself, as well as being a really tasty carrot, I say it's number 2. It's like a really great backup vocalist to the star meat. I really like it, and it's really important to cook these the right way. The third performer to hit the stage is the potato. And of course, as you recall from 10 minutes earlier in this video, I cooked them separately because I wanted them to be al dente. Yeah, I said al dente. But I don't want them overcooked. I've cooked these in the slow cooker before, 2 times previously, and they just didn't come out right. So I'm cooking them separately, and they always now come out the way I want them to. And there we go. We are looking good. All right, excellent. And here's where I add the Parmesan. I did not add it to the sauce because the sauce was hot and I did not want it melting in the sauce. But I wanted that Parmesan bite because it is a pizza. And I add it right here. Now it's time for my favorite, cheese. And this is a Swiss mozzarella mix, not provolone, but Swiss mozzarella mix. And I like it on this combination. Very good. It's not overpowering. I like the creaminess. It's a subtle Swiss, and I like that as well. And after, of course, we get this, whoops, it looks like I ran out of cheese. I had to mix some more. Look at that. All right, well, do your mixing, buddy, and put it on there, because the next step is our 425 degree oven. No, it's 400. We cooked this at 400. 400, folks. Let the cooking begin. I want to say one thing for those of you who watch my pizza series. This was the heaviest pizza I have ever made so far.
What journey did we go on today? Well, the journey we went on today was taking a pot roast meal with carrots and potatoes on the pot roast and putting it on a pizza. Is that crazy? Not to me. You know, I've often said that dough is the plate of the world when it comes to pizza, and everything can go on a plate and everything can go on pizza, and that's the whole reason why my channel is named what it is. Everything goes on pizza. Everything on pizza. So I've got this piece here. Well, you know what? You're not seeing when I pick it up. I'm going to pick up a corner piece here. This is a corner piece. Now this is crazy. There's not much crust here. Look how much, let me pick it up with this here. Look how much there is on this. It's crazy. What an incredible vehicle. What an incredible delivery for food. Pizza is amazing, and I really like this. So let me just take a bite of it really quickly. Oh man. Almost got doubled over there. Yeah, it's really amazing when you, it's just so good. Yeah, no, there's no tomato sauce. There isn't. But the gravy with the red wine, the balsamic vinegar, the onion, the garlic, the celery, all the ingredients that cooked with it for 9 hours, that was impressive. Really impressive. And it's amazingly good. Really, really special. Thank you very much. And I just can't tell you, I can't tell you enough how much I really enjoy this pizza. This is really something special. Thank you.